Hey y'all, what's up? Y'all good? I hope so. Y'all listen, let's get into episode 2 of Under the Bridge that's on Hulu. And the title of episode 2 is The John Gotti of Seven Oaks. And remember, if you know the true story, try not to put any spoilers in the comments. And if you haven't watched episode 2 yet, click out, watch it, and then come back, okay? So y'all remember at the end of the first episode, Rebecca is at the police station to get Josephine, and Josephine asked her if she could keep a secret, right? So now episode 2 opens on March 10th, 1997, 8 months earlier. And Reena, she's waking up. I think she is talking to her parent, and it sounded like she was about to tell the parent that today was her birthday. But they start calling her downstairs. She goes downstairs for breakfast, and her dad gives her a plate with 2 egg whites and some cantaloupe. But Reena, she was hoping to get something special, and her mom asked her, "What did we learn at Kingdom Hall? That one's DEATH is better than one's birth," because the mom is a Jehovah Witness. So now the scene goes back to the present with Reena stumbling on the bridge. Then it cuts to the interrogation room where Josephine and Rebecca are. Cam's brother comes in to let Josephine know that she can leave, and he was surprised to see Rebecca. Up front, Cam is still watching the city cameras and says that Reena looks injured and that they should not be letting those kids leave without asking them some questions. Rebecca and Josephine, they're walking out. And when Cam looks up, she notices Rebecca and was surprised to see her the same way her brother was. So now I really want to know the deal between these two. Since the youth home, they lock the doors at midnight. So Joe says she'll just go kick it at Connor's. But Rebecca asks Joe, like, what was the secret you was going to tell me? She runs over to tell her, but then the scene cuts back to the police station. Cam's dad, he is extremely mad. Like, he is ticked off because he feels like Cam embarrassed the department since they saw Reena walking on the bridge instead of being missing. So Rebecca and Josephine, they're at the diner, and Rebecca wanted to know, how did Josephine end up at Seven Oaks? And she said that her mom got a new boyfriend who didn't like her, and the mom chose the boyfriend. Then the waiter comes over to take their order, and he recognizes Rebecca. He tells her that he was in the class with Gabe, and that Gabe was a really nice kid. We find out that Gabe was Rebecca's brother. Josephine wanted to know, like, what happened to him, but that was something that Rebecca didn't really want to talk about. So Rebecca says, "So, what was your big secret?" Josephine tells her that Reena lied and stole from her, so she had to teach her a lesson. And Rebecca wanted to know, well, what did you do to Reena? And Josephine says she'll make her a deal. She'll take her to where they hurt Reena, but Rebecca had to take Joe to New York with her and make her the star of her book. Rebecca doesn't give her an answer. She just tells her that she'll take her to Connor's once they finish eating. Cam pulls up on Rebecca at her home, and she asks her, like, what is going on? Because how is it that you're back in Victoria after 10 years and some kind of way you end up inside of my homicide investigation? Rebecca explains that Josephine didn't have anyone else to call, and she had her number because of a book she's writing, so she went to get her. So Cam asked Rebecca if Josephine told her anything, and she said no. All she said was that the cops were harassing her. Cam tells Rebecca, look, you need to stay away from Josephine Bell, and then she leaves. But the tension between them makes me wonder if they had a deeper relationship. Now we get another flashback, and we're in the girls' locker room at school. Reena, she's changing out of her clothes, but there's some girls behind her who start making fun of her because she has hairy legs. They called her the Beast. So when Reena leaves school, she goes to a store to get a razor. This is when she really gets introduced to Josephine, and she comes in and she helps her steal the razors. And for some reason, Reena thought that was so cool. Then Josephine invited her to a visual, and Reena is excited because she thinks Josephine is cool and she wants to be her friend. Cam, she goes to see Reena's parents, and she shows them all the pics from the surveillance camera and asks if they could, help her make sense of this because she's on the bridge, but she's not here. And the dad feels like the devil is working through Josephine Bell. He says she is rotten, like rotten to the core. Rebecca, she's talking to her dad, and she's actually considering taking Joe to New York with her. He don't think that's a good idea, but he does mention that he did see Cam there last night, and he was like, "Are y'all good? With all the time that has passed?" And she like, "No." And the dad was like, "Well, I don't think things gonna get any better if you button into her investigation." But Rebecca, she doesn't listen. She decides to go to the youth home to tell Josephine to take her under the bridge. Now we flash back to Reena, and she's in the bathroom. She's shaving her legs. Her mom walks in and she takes the razor from her and tells her that she doesn't have to fit in. But Reena, she does not feel like her mom is listening or understanding what she's going through at school, because it's different than when you were in school. But the mom, she is not trying to hear her. Rebecca, Josephine, and Dusty, they make their way to the bridge. Rebecca asks if Reena knew that Josephine knew what she was saying about her. And she was like, yeah. And she kept talking mess. So I had to do what I had to do. And she looked at Dusty and she said, "And I did what?" And Dusty said that she put her cigarette out between her eyes. And Rebecca, she couldn't believe what she was hearing. She was just standing up there. She was just staring at her. So Josephine said, after I did that, everybody jumped her. And Reena was just lying there. Joe says we broke her teeth, kicked in the stomach, and when she started screaming, we knocked her out. Rebecca looks back at Dusty and says, "And you saw all of this happen?" Joe smirks and says, "Saw it?" Dusty gave a nasty right hook. After that, people started freaking out and they left. But Joe said she stayed behind because she didn't want Reena to think she was getting away. So she hid out and followed Reena when she came from under the bridge. And Dusty was like, "What?" Because she didn't know that part. Josephine says, "Yeah, I waited until Reena was right by the railing and I pushed her. And the reason everybody is saying she's in the gorge is because of me." Dusty can't take it. She done ran off. She panicking. Joe like, "Where you going?" "We going to come." She's like, I gotta go use the bathroom." But she didn't have to do that. She was sitting there crying, hyperventilating. She didn't know what to do. And then she looks up and she sees a great blue heron. And then there are some other people out there who are bird watching, and they see the same bird fly by, and they take off after it to get a better look, but they see more than the bird. There's a body in the water. Now we get another flashback, and it's Reena. She's putting on makeup to go hang out with Josephine, and as she's trying to sneak out the house, her uncle is trying to sneak in the house with her a birthday present. And he doesn't stop her from leaving. He just tells her not to stay out too late. Now we're back in the present with Reena's mom getting these strange calls again. And Officer Cam told her that she's going to start tracing those calls, which she did. And she found out that it was Dusty. Dusty was the one that was making the calls. So she asked Dusty where was Reena. And if she didn't know, like, at least give me a name of somebody who knows where Reena is. Dusty says, but she walked away. She walked away from the bridge. She was fine. But then Cam's radio goes off with a 1018. Urgent. Girl, get on the phone. Dusty knew exactly what that meant. So Cam tells Dusty that Reena wasn't effing fine. She's DEAD. But Dusty tells Officer Cam that she did think Reena was fine until today. And Officer Cam wants to know what happened today. So now we're back with Rebecca and Josephine. Josephine was supposed to be taking Rebecca home, but she done took this woman to a party, right? Then they do another flashback, and Reena has made it to the party with that Josephine invited her to. And she sees Josephine, Kelly, and Dusty. They over there messing around with the Ouija board. Josephine invited Reena to the party because she wants Reena to be a part of the CMC gang. Kelly, she don't think it's a good idea. She don't like it. But Joe is like, look, we can't be a gang if we don't have any members. And she's a wannabe, so she'll do whatever we tell her. Kelly, she still don't like. She don't like. So now we're back in the present. And Officer Cam is rushing down to the gorge where they have found Reena's body. She hugs her dad. He apologizes because he just knew that they were right since they saw Reena walk away on the surveillance camera. Then he looks around, he see a lot of people coming, and then he noticed the news cameras there. He's like, oh my gosh, we need to get to the family before they see this on TV. And Kim was like, but I talked to them earlier, and I almost insinuated that she was going to be okay. The dad gets a little upset, but he's like, you know what? I'll go talk to the family. Don't you worry about it. Then she said, but it was Josephine Bell. And he was like, well, how do you know this? She said, because her roommate confessed and said that she was basically bragging about it. He was like, okay, good. You go get Josephine. I'll go talk to the family. So, and that's what they do. The only thing is, Officer Cam didn't make it to the youth home before the curfew. But it wouldn't have mattered because Josephine not there anyway. Josephine, she over there at the party. So Rebecca, she's starting to freak out. She go into this bedroom and she makes a call to the station and asks for Cam, but Cam not there, right? This one of the teenagers, they noticed on the news that they found a teenage girl's body. So Josephine, she looking at the TV like, what? She's DEAD? And I'm like, girl, what do you mean she did? You just told this woman that you pushed her. So, like, did you just say all that because you were trying to be tough? Or you didn't think that she was going to DIE when you pushed her over a bridge? So, yeah, like, I don't want to look into the real case. I really want to just watch it unfold on the show. But I'm trying to figure out why is Josephine acting so shocked. But, yeah, that is the end of episode 2. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.